Hi, I am DrLightupChikere. It's been a great year 2021, recovering from COVID-19 and many other challenges that we had with businesses, with families, and all of those issues. Well, as we come to the end of the year 2021, I think it is usually pertinent for us to take stock for how the year went and to plan for the next year. For me, the month of December every year is like a ladder. It's like a ladder that drops you from one year and lands you into another year. If I would speak concerning it with a spiritual term, I would say it's like a portal where you are standing between 2 years. You're standing between 2021 and 2022, whatever the year may be. And interestingly, when we talk about the next year, a lot of people feel like, yeah, by the time you make goals for the year, it is said that by February of the new year, many persons have actually fizzled out. I mean, everything that they've written that they want to accomplish for the year, they've actually forgotten it. But I want to teach you a principle that I think could help you enjoy 2022 or probably the decade of 2020, and that is from 2020 to 2030 actually. Before that, I want you to understand this. Now, you may think that planning for the next year doesn't matter. You may think that the year is going to determine how that is going to run and all of that. Yes, there is some truth to that, but I want you to understand that many of the things around you have already planned for your next year. Many of the people around you have already planned for your next year. Many of the situations and challenges around you have already planned for your next year. So I think you would be unwise if you don't plan for the next year. In fact, I wanted to say you'll be foolish if you don't plan for the next year. What do I mean by that? For some of you, your rents are going to be expiring next year. So your landlord already knows that by June, July, by March, or by whatever month, probably in January 2022, he or she is going to be getting their rent from you. He has planned to collect his money from you, whether you like it or not. So why shouldn't you plan for the year? For some of us, our car papers, the papers we get from government that makes it easy for our cars to ply on the road, not to have issues and all of that, they are going to be expiring next year. For some of us, our car papers are going to expire in March, in May, in July, in December. So you see that the government has prepared to tax you for next year. In fact, some technology company has already forecasted what the year 2022 is going to be like, the new technologies they expect to have, the improvement, the new apps, and all of that. They've done that probably year before, if not this year. So they are preparing to get there so that you update your phone. Update your phone in the sense that you update your app, or completely, maybe that your iPhone fizzles out completely and you're going to have to get a new one. Life itself has planned for your next year. So why wouldn't you plan for your next year? Whether it works or not, it is always important to plan. And that is why it has been said that if you don't plan at all, you've actually planned to fail, because not planning is a plan on its own. So what can you do in 2022? What can you do now to make 2022 better? What can you do now to help focus your direction for 2022? And for me, it's a very simple thing. It's a practice I've been doing over the years, and it has helped me, and I believe that it will help you. I think that for you to make 2022 and every other year better, you have to get a sheet of paper, you have to get a pen, and you have to write down 100 things that you want to do in the new year. Not your iPhone, not your iPad, no. It has to be manual. You have to get a pen, you have to get a paper, and you have to write 100 things. You have to write 100. 1, 2, 3, then 10, then 15, then 20, then 30, then 40, and like that, till you get to 70, till you get to 80, till you get to 90, and finally till you get to 100. 100 things that you want to do in the new year. 100 things that you want to do in the next year. I believe that if you've not written 100 things that you want to do before the next year, then you didn't actually enter the next year. And when you write those things, I don't expect you to duplicate them because you want to get to 100. No. You can't say, for instance, I want to learn how to bake, number 1. Then number 2, I'm going to buy flour. Then number 3, I'm going to get yeast and all of that. No. You'll just be doing yourself some disfavor. If you want to learn how to bake next year, for instance, then it should be all encompassing. It should encompass how to get a flow and all of that. Just pick different aspects of your life and write down things that will amount to 100 that you want to do. The truth of the matter is, at the end of the day, I will not be interested whether you do these 100 things or not. But I know that if you write them down, there's going to be a possibility that you will do the 100 things. So you may ask, if I'm writing the 100 things not to actually do them, why am I doing them? Now that's where the secret is. You are doing these 100 things to open your mind. You are doing these 100 things to build focus. You are doing these 100 things to subject yourself to the new year. By the time you're done writing 100 things, I can tell you that even if you don't remember it the next year, you may just sleep one night probably in June and wake up and tell yourself, oh, I need to start learning how to bake. And by the time you check the year, you will see that baking was the one, because as you take the time to write those things, you are writing it into your subconscious mind. You are imprinting it into your subconscious mind. And when it matters, it will begin to find manifestation and expression in the world. Maybe sometimes in the totality of the year, for instance, 2022, you may not even do one of those things that you have written down. At least you think so. But I've noticed that when you write those things down, your life automatically begins to get towards that direction, that you begin to take steps that will help you do that thing. For instance, if one of the things you tell yourself is that you want to be a Facebook influencer in 2022, just maybe in the totality of 2022, you may not have become a Facebook influencer. But I can tell you this, because you wrote it down, you will see that your use of Facebook will increase. And subconsciously, probably by 2023 or 2024, you will see that you have attained your goal by doing that. And that's why I say it has to be manual. You have to get a pen, you have to get a paper, and you have to write it down. It's not going to take you one day, don't rush it. It's not going to take you 1 hour, don't rush it. It's not going to take you a few seconds, don't rush it. But devote yourself, dedicate your time. Tell yourself that from now to the next 1 month, I'm going to sit down and make a list of 100 things that I want to do. 100 things I want to do in my personal life, 100 things I want to do in my professional life, 100 things I want to do in my relationship, 100 things I want for my finances, 100 things I want for my spirituality, 100 things I want for my world. The 5 things I've mentioned will be 500 things. Some of us will actually write 500 things, but since this may be new for you, you may not actually need to do 500. So you may just need to do 100. You can decide to pick 20 of all of these things that I've mentioned. But make sure they touch different aspects of your life, because therein lies what your life is going to focus on for the next year. I'm sure that as you do that, you will see and you will make more difference than you probably ever made in your life before. 100 things. Thank you very much for being a part of this podcast. I am Dr. DrLightupChikere. You are